This video is for Shane Pomeroy. Hope I got the name right. I was talking about your build, your Stirling engine, and I don't have the setup anymore. But I mentioned a flexible tube. And I mentioned different timing between your hot and your cold. And if you do like an alternator bracket on a car to where this is an elongated slot and it's adjustable to where this can turn back and forth with a manual control or even a centrifugal advanced control that changes this timing of this cylinder to the other cylinder. There's hardly any compression there, but that'll run off of a T candle, and I mean, you're not going to get a lot of power out if you're putting little power in. There's 90 degrees. This is how everybody says your Stirling engines need set up. So I'm going to demonstrate. I'm going to turn this back to, I don't know how many degrees this is. I have bad memory. I measured it one time. I don't remember if it's advanced or retarded timing. But I've got this on about the minimum of what it'll run for the amount of heat, the least amount of compression for the cycle to work. And the flame is still on. She's running. Stop it. It's heating up. I want to turn this up to 90 degrees and show you that that's not enough heat to make this engine run. But that flame is still on. That thing has to get pretty dang hot, so I'm going to turn it somewhere in between. And the flame just blew out again. So as that heat's on, this is going to want to go faster and faster, right? The more that heats up. But if we turn this down, we can use that as a throttle. It's getting nasty outside. So we still got heat on there. We can't change our temperature right away, but we can change and throttle this with our timing. We want more power. It should be hot enough now. Nope. Nope, not hot enough yet. See? And that's why it's taking you a long time for your engine to start up. Oh, I'm spinning it the wrong way. And this thing still isn't nearly as hot as it's supposed to be. Okay, so there's at 90 degrees. I'm not getting very good heat on there because the wind's just blowing it all over. There's a lot of friction going on in there, a lot of compression. She's winding down. And I'm going to let it run, put a little load on it, and wait till it kind of doesn't want to run anymore. And this seems to have like a resonance to it, where you can find the right temperature for the right speed. Now she really doesn't want to go, right? Okay, so we'll take this off 90 degrees. We'll bump it way down. There's no heat on there. And look at that. I can touch that bulb. And so you can still, like if you got flywheel weight and you're getting intermittent pulls on it or something, if you really adjust this, it won't run at 90 degrees. Unless that is super uber hot. That seems like it's an awful waste of efficiency to me. So like I said, if you can take your cold piston or your hot piston, and you could either make that thing swing back and forth to adjust your timing angle, or if you could put like on the old ignitions on cars, if you're familiar with them, how they had this centrifugal advance where these little wings would swing out and it would actually retard the timing a little bit, so that when you got into the higher RPMs, it would set your timing back. Well, you could use that effect with the centrifugal advance that even changes the amount of stroke on this that will essentially do the same thing. And I invited you to the Reinventing the Wheel group, and there's a couple guys in there that there's one guy that's built a pretty big Stirling engine, and they're the guys. That's the group where we're trying to make these things practical. And then I really love that you're interested in the thermoelectric ideas, because I seem to be the one that's really most interested in that. So if you follow me on that, what I'm doing with my little electronic circuits you see that I post is I'm trying to make this, you don't get very much voltage out of here, but I kind of want to turn this into a magneto and take those coils and the step-up transformers and integrate it into a mechanical version of this. And I also want to have a chimney, a scavenger for the heat for the thermoelectric modules. And also, if you can have one of those producing heat because you're putting heat into it, they're like an alternator, like a electric motor. You can put power to it and it'll put work out, or you can put work into it and it'll put electricity out. So you can make those thermoelectric modules running off of this come back around, and I don't know if it would help it or not, but if you're just using scavenged heat, I know that it'll do something. If that heat's just going up in the air, you collect that through that thermoelectric module and you apply it to your cold cylinder. And if you're doing water cold, that might not be the case, might not be so efficient. But if you're doing air cold, the other thing I noticed is this is a really long tube. This is just copper. This does much better, so much better than a regular vinyl or rubber tube. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it dissipates the heat. But so they're changing the timing on this. I think is it could be really beneficial to you. I don't know, but that's something that I've wanted to do on a larger build, and you already got the build, so I hope that helps you out, buddy. Keep me updated.